All right, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. My name is Aaron. There's new footage from a 2019 documentary that shows a multi-millionaire getting very candid as to why he is bullish on Bitcoin. I mean, I couldn't believe some of the things that this guy said. I'm not even going to get a chance to show you everything, but within this footage, and among other things, he admits that he is personally buying $6,000 worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum every day. That's $160,000 worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum every month. This is really interesting to me because we really get inside the mind of a Bitcoin whale, a multi-millionaire, and we really get a sense of how this guy thinks. And I guarantee you have not seen this interview. The original documentary was only released in Swiss German. This interview is in English, but it got dubbed over in Swiss German. So this is new footage. It was only released 2 days ago. And for full context, this interview was originally recorded October 30th, 2019. Bitcoin's price was about $9,000 while shooting a documentary about Bitcoin entrepreneur Niklas in Zug, Switzerland. That's this guy. The documentary was produced for German TV program Galileo, its famous science entertainment magazine. Actually, they never planned to broadcast this full interview. They only ever planned to take some quotes from this interview and they cut it into a 15-minute piece. While they were editing the 15-minute piece, they recognized that there is so much content inside this interview that needs to be shown. They decided to upload the interview in full. So it's 26 minutes of uncut interview, and today you and we're going to watch this and we're going to react to some of the things that this guy says. So everybody like the video, support the channel. Let's get into this. You are a multi-millionaire. How much Bitcoin are you buying and why are you still buying?
You said that you are still buying Bitcoin every day. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I buy for, this changes, but at least for the last several months, constantly every day for around 6,000 euro. And that is, let's say, my savings plan.
Could you tell me what you buy? You buy Bitcoin, Ethereum? Can you explain that?
Well, I do different investments, but what's always reoccurring every day is that I buy for around 5,000 or 6,000 euro of Bitcoin and Ethereum. That doesn't believe that I don't make other investments as well, but it's just a stable reoccurring. And why do I do it? Well, because historically, that's asset classes that has performed very well for me.
But if it's 5,000 or 6,000 euros a day, it's 150,000 a month.
No, you can calculate. Maybe you can get a job here.
Okay, perfect.
Interesting. That's his savings plan. See, what I liked about this is that you think whales try and time the bottom, and he says he's just cost averaging. He's making a bet that this thing continues to trend up over time, and he thinks it's going to be worth a lot more in the future. He has the long-term mindset. I like that. $6,000 worth of Bitcoin every single day, though, $160,000 worth of Bitcoin every month. Yet he remains so cool and calm and collected. I wish I could be like that. See, the rest of us, we're not as seasoned as him. What advice do you think he gives to new people in the space today who might be scared of all this volatility? Let's watch.
So it's people who don't know cryptocurrencies so well are probably very afraid. They cannot imagine not to think about this crazy volatility all the time.
No, but I think if you're not used to sailing and you're on a ship, you can easily become seasick. But if you work on a ship, even in the heaviest storms, you do not get seasick. Or think about how frightening it would be to if somebody were shooting after you. But still, if you see old movies from the trenches, the soldiers are sleeping in the middle of an artillery bombardment. I think it's a little bit about conditioning. And after 7 years professionally in the Bitcoin scene and 9 years being in the crypto scene in general, I've seen so many things that I'm a little bit conditioned to not worry too much.
Wow, I can't believe this guy is still buying. I mean, by all accounts, this guy has made it. He got into Bitcoin early. He got rich. He's a multi-millionaire. I would think that maybe you just sit back and relax. But clearly, this guy is still into it. He is still stacking sats. His company revolves around Bitcoin and crypto. He really seems to understand the long-term potential of this thing. And what I mean by that is I feel like sometimes you and me, we think of Bitcoin in terms of years. To me, it seems like this guy is thinking about Bitcoin in terms of decades. So my question is, when the Bitcoin price goes up, does that even still make you happy? I mean, since you're already a multi-millionaire, how does it make you happy?
Does it make you happy when the Bitcoin price rises, and how does it make you happy?
It makes me tremendous happy for two reasons. One of them is, of course, obvious, and that is that I personally have a very large part of my net assets in Bitcoin. So when the Bitcoin price go up, in theory, I can do more stuff. I can get a bigger house. I can make funny plans, or I can do great investments, or also in the company. And on the other hand, I like to see Bitcoin appreciating year after year, because I believe that the existing financial and monetary systems are very unhealthy for the world. I believe they are skewed. I believe they are unfair to a lot of people. And I believe that they do not serve the best interest of humankind compared to non-decentralized currencies such as gold or Bitcoin. So when I see Bitcoin growing in value, and remember I was around from the price of 0 cents to today where it's $9,100, I see people choosing Bitcoin with their feet. When Bitcoin grows in value, it's because the demand is there for Bitcoin, and that means that Bitcoin is marching forward, and that, I think, will mean a better world for all of us, with less poverty, less wars, less financial fat cats, less dictatorships. Imagine when you set money free, peer-to-peer, the people who live from controlling other people and subjugating their lives, they will have a very hard time to do so.
So, if you're so inclined, please watch the full 26-minute interview yourself, the uncut interview. One question, which I'm not going to play for you, but one thing that they asked him, he talked for about 5 or 6 minutes straight as to why, according to him, Bitcoin is digital gold and why Bitcoin is better gold. He said gold is also good, you don't have to choose, but Bitcoin beats gold in every single category except established history, which will come in time, hopefully. I do want to leave you with one final thing. They asked him on October 30th in 2019, Bitcoin's price was around $9,000, and they asked him at that time, should you buy Bitcoin right now? And that's always a tough question, right? Because if it goes down even a few hundred, everybody's going to say, oh, why'd you tell people to buy Bitcoin? You're never going to be able to say buy Bitcoin at the bottom, and that's what he's trying to say, don't worry about. It's just interesting to hear his thoughts October 30th, 2019, and should people buy Bitcoin?
What about buying now?
I think it's interesting, but of course I'm biased. But we are moving towards what's called the halving. This happens in Bitcoin every 4 years. The rate at which new Bitcoin are mined are halved. The next halving will be approximately May or June 2020, so it's only a little more than half a year away. And what traditionally has happened in Bitcoin, and we saw that both in 16 and also in 12, was as moving towards the halving, Bitcoin starts to appreciate. So I'm certainly not ruling out that will happen again, which is also why, as you say, I'm personally buying up Bitcoin for around $150,000 a month.
All right. That is it for me today, my friends. My name is Aaron. This is Altcoin Daily. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe for daily content. We keep you informed on everything going on in the space today involving Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. If you got value in this video, give it a like. And just overall, let's talk about it in the comments. It's always interesting, I think, to hear from people who've been around since the beginning, but also just the multimillionaires and big money and whales in general. I thought this was pretty interesting, but let me know down below. See you tomorrow.